When she was abruptly roused by peculiar sounds outside her home, Emily could not have anticipated that a wild bear was the source. This large, furry creature was scaling her neighbor's house, presenting a harrowing spectacle. Adding to the terror, it soon became apparent that the disturbance was inadvertently caused by her actions. Shortly after, the source of the commotion revealed itself above the fence. A massive brown bear, the largest Emily had ever encountered. The animal adeptly used the wooden side panels of her neighbor's house to hoist itself up, reaching a height of a meter within moments. "What the hell?" said Emily while observing this scene. The image of the bear caused fear within Emily's body. Emily witnessed how the bear made it past the ground floor with ease. It was clear that the woodland creature had a purpose, since it shot straight to the house's only open window. Kelly was forced to watch as the bear easily entered her neighbor's house. Until the bear disappeared from view, Emily still hoped that the animal would lose its grip and fall down. But that was a story she could no longer tell herself. Yeah, and Emily knew her neighbor was still sleeping inside. This was horrible. Emily just spoke to her neighbor yesterday evening. She was an older lady named Caroline, and the two women had a close friendship. But if that bear attacked her in her sleep yesterday evening, it would have been their last conversation. Emily was afraid to head inside, so she tried shouting first. "Caroline, Caroline." Emily screamed as loud as she could, making her lungs burn because of it. But there was no response whatsoever from within Caroline's home. She had to go into the house herself to get Caroline. So, after giving herself a quick pep talk, Emily climbed over the fence and landed in her neighbor's garden. Emily mustered courage and stepped inside. Emily started her search, but eventually found something far more bizarre than she had ever imagined. The first sign of the intruder's presence immediately presented itself. Growls came from the attic, but that didn't make Emily feel safer standing downstairs in the hallway. The size of this house gave the bear plenty of places to hide, which made a surprise attack highly possible. And while Emily climbed the stairs, her thoughts lingered. Why did a 600-pound bear go through so much trouble to get inside? Did Caroline leave unsealed food lying around? Fear shot through Emily's body again. She had to focus and find her neighbor as fast as she could. She knew where Caroline slept, so that was the first place she looked. Slowly, Emily opened the door. Upon opening the door, Emily immediately found her neighbor. Caroline was sitting in the corner of her room, shaking tremendously. "Caroline, are you hurt?" Caroline stated that she was fine. "I jumped back, hid in this corner, and have been afraid to move since," Caroline explained. Nellie nodded and said she witnessed the bear climbing through the hallway window. "Where did it go?" Caroline's finger was shaking heavily, but it was clear that she was guiding Emily's gaze toward the attic stairway. Emily sighed for a moment, but was also relieved. She came here to rescue her neighbor, and with the bear upstairs, they could easily make their escape. But this plan had one problem. Caroline revealed that their kittens were missing. The 4 kittens always nestled in her bed in the morning, but never arrived. The sounds were deep and loud, re-establishing the danger up there. She had to save the kittens, but did not want to be in any danger. Emily's heart raced wildly as she took a deep breath and gave herself a final pep talk before approaching the attic. "Maybe I don't need to fully enter. If I can just coax the kittens towards me while I stand in the doorway, we can make a quick escape." Yes, that's the plan. Emily had never intended to be a hero. Avoiding any confrontation was her priority. Her goal was simple: to get everyone out safely to her garden. As she approached the threshold of danger, the attic door was slightly ajar, allowing her a glimpse inside. The room was shrouded in darkness, yet the high-pitched meows followed by deep breaths confirmed the presence of life. Emily was familiar with the 4 kittens, having been the first to hold them after their birth. Realizing time was of the essence, Emily bravely pushed the door wide open. The attic was spacious, but a bear could traverse it in mere seconds. The light from the hallway spilled into the attic, illuminating patches of the floor where 2 kittens scampered about. The sounds of the bear's heavy breathing mixed with the kittens' cries came from the same corner. One at a time, Emily thought as she began to coax the kittens. She made chirping sounds and crouched low to the ground, which initially seemed to attract the kittens as they cheerfully approached her. However, as she scooped up one of them, a thunderous roar erupted. Moments later, the brown bear loomed into the illuminated part of the attic. The young woman took a large step back, thinking her final moments on Earth were done for. But by doing so, she accidentally stepped over the edge of the staircase, making her fall backward. Emily just managed to hold onto the railing in time, but after regaining her balance, Emily saw something bizarre. She was convinced that the bear must have attacked one of the kittens by now, but the opposite was true. The 4 cats weren't afraid at all and were playing around with the bear's legs, while the large furry animal looked at them calmly and kindly. "What the hell is going on?" Emily thought to herself. The bear took the cats back to the dark side of the attic, making them impossible to spot again. A scene that made Emily curious, and that curiosity guided her next move. With trembling fingers, Emily unlocked her phone and used the flashlight to illuminate the attic. And that's when Emily saw it. Emily witnessed the bear sitting calmly on her behind, liking the 4 kittens who were nestled in her lap. It was amazing to see, but it also provided an opportunity for Emily and Caroline to escape. After realizing the kittens were safe for now, Emily ran downstairs and opened the bedroom door. "Caroline, let's go," Emily said. Caroline was confused since Emily re-entered the room without their precious kittens. But Caroline's eyes widened when Emily told the old lady about the scene she witnessed upstairs. Emily didn't have time to explain things further. She grabbed her neighbor's arm and guided her down to the ground floor and out of the house. Emily called a local rescue team. Luckily, there was one close by, which meant that resolution was at hand. And after exactly 30 minutes, the team arrived. 2 men stepped out of the truck and introduced themselves as John and his son. "We're happy that you called," John explained. They had known about the bear for a little over a week now. The large mammal had been spotted across town on multiple occasions, but they were too late to capture it every time. What the sanctuary owner then revealed left Emily in shock. It was a revelation that explained everything. Is the bear alone in the attic, or are there 4 kittens with her? Emily was confused. She told John about the bear being stuck up there, but never mentioned anything about kittens, so how could he possibly know this fact? Every time the bear was spotted, the kittens were by her side, John stated. John stated that the bear took over the kittens' care from their original mother. They found their mother near the alleyway where Emily gathered the 4 kittens. She was hit by a passing car and unfortunately passed away. And ever since, the bear took over and nurtured the kittens as if they were her own. John and Connor couldn't tell how the bear got into town, but multiple civilians saw it gathering food from dumpsters. Emily couldn't believe it. When she found the kittens, the bear was nowhere to be seen. She was probably searching for food when I got to the alleyway. The bear located the house because it was searching for its unique family, and it went through all this trouble to get inside because it could hear its kittens' cries inside. Emily felt a rush of guilt course through her body. She couldn't help but feel responsible for the entire thing because she was the one who found the kittens on the street and took them in for adoption. "If I just let them alone, none of this would have happened," Emily said, crying. The sanctuary team consoled Emily as Caroline placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder, telling her there was no way she could have predicted what happened. "You tried to do the right thing," John added. Soon after, the team entered the house. About 15 minutes later, the back door swung open, and 2 team members emerged, maneuvering a 600-pound tranquilized bear on a mechanical stretcher. The cats darted from the house shortly afterward. "What will happen to the bear?" Emily asked, concerned. John reassured her, explaining that the sanctuary would serve as a temporary home for the bear. They would assess her health and prepare her for a return to the forest. Relieved, Emily watched the men drive away with hopeful smiles. Several months passed before Emily received an unexpected call from a cheerful John inviting her to the sanctuary. Caroline, having received a similar call, was already outside with the kittens when Emily arrived. They were greeted by John and Connor at the sanctuary. The bear was ready for release, but they wanted Emily and Caroline to say their final goodbyes. Both eagerly agreed and released the kittens into the enclosure. As everyone watched, the kittens scampered towards their adoptive mother in an enchanting scene. When it was time to leave, the mother bear allowed Emily to gently pick up the kittens, a sign of her acceptance and trust. It was a heartwarming farewell.